Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse podcast.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. And we are here to change the dialogue and stigma around what it means to feel good or be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
Yes. And we often talk about things that people don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about them to decrease the stigma for healing.
Absolutely. And 2021 is the year of the nurse and the midwife. And what we've been doing since the beginning of the year, we've been highlighting and illuminating cannabis nurses and nursing across the country as we are truly in revolutionary times where we're changing how we approach and take care of patients.
Yeah. You know what, Sherri?
Yeah.
We don't all wake up one day and decide to enter the cannabis industry. There's usually a compelling story that goes along with that plunge. So what makes someone enter into the cannabis space as a nurse?
There
Sherri,
we go.
please introduce our guest.
Oh, our guest of honor. We are really excited to introduce Cannabis Nurse Carey Lee. She's our Green Nurse Liaison in Iowa. She's a cannabis nurse, patient, advocate, activist, and a leading force in the cannabis nursing space. I love this quote from her. Nursing is my second career, but my first love. So Nurse Carey Lee wasn't always a nurse. So think about this, 23 years after high school, a mortgage career, marriage, 3 boys, and a dog named Cooper, she took a leap of faith and went back to school to pursue her true passion, nursing. I love this. Carey Lee, you're brilliant. She graduated magna cum laude at the top of her class.
Of course
was
she did.
Class president.
Oh, yeah.
And listen to this one. And she passed her nursing boards within 6 weeks of graduating. Right? So,
No
Carey Lee,
doubt.
I know, let's keep bragging about our nurse, Carey
Yes.
Lee.
Aw, you guys are too good to
You gotta
me.
keep bragging.
It's true. Your story is really amazing. So, her clinical experience ranges from emergency medicine, skilled nursing, psychiatric nursing, restorative nursing, the COVID unit, and then now she has embarked upon her newest endeavor, Soul Thrive Health Consulting, which she is the CEO and founder of. So Soul Thrive educates and connects humans to plant, fungi, and bioenergetic healing modalities. So a thriving life becomes attainable and sustainable. So Nurse Carey Lee proudly represents the Green Nurse as Green Nurse Iowa. She's a member of the Cannabis Nurses Association, the Cannabis Nurses Network, the International Association of Psychedelic Nursing, and her cannabis nursing practice focuses on cannabis wellness as part of a healthy lifestyle. So she advocates for safe and legal access to plant medicine for everyone, including nurses, because nurses are patients too.
Yes.
So normalizing the conversation about cannabis is important to her, and she accomplishes this through her sharing her entire cannabis culture and community with her local community. I love this quote. This is what Carey Lee quote. We have to show the world that the cannabis community is filled with bright, intelligent, loving, and talented humans. Medical cannabis will always be my priority, but there is an entire community out there to embrace and to be embraced by. Yeah. So we've had the honor, Carey Lee, of witnessing your transformation. You've blossomed into your new business, Soul Thrive Consulting. We're so happy that you're here. You're one of the nurse leaders in the Green Nurse, and we're really grateful to have you bring all of your gifts and talents to patients in our communities. So we've known each other for over a year. We had you on the show last year when you first started your cannabis journey. So tonight, I really want our viewers to know how you navigated from the traditional medical system to a holistic nursing with a primary focus on the endocannabinoid system and all the other progressive modalities that support that system. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you are a fearless, you are extraordinary. You're a fearless nurse warrior, and we're really excited to have you share your journey, your ongoing journey. This is take 2, Carey Lee.
Take 2,
Welcome.
take 2.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, a year goes by fast, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you for having me on, you guys. Seriously, to be with both of you. I mean, Sherri and I have been down this road, but to have Nurse Mark as well. Thank you so much.
So good to see you.
As far as what I did what all of these wonderful cannabis nurses do. I picked this up part-time while I was working full-time in regular conventional nursing. And so first thing, just diving into the education, joining the associations was huge, because the associations also guide you to, credible resources to get your knowledge, right? And then I think what's been most impactful is listening to other cannabis nurses share their stories, their whys, what they're doing, how they're doing it. There's a level of, comfort that you have to get to, meaning the legalities that surround whether you're coming out fully out of the closet as a cannabis nurse or not. So I don't know. I just really jumping in. I think I said it before. I just plug my nose and jump into the pool and ask questions later. Just do it. You love it. Do it.
Love it. Do it. Well, that's the thing too, is that nursing wasn't your first career. So you went from, doing a completely different career to nursing. So what inspired you to jump? Like you literally went from mortgage to nursing.
First of all, I always wanted to be in healthcare. I originally, when I was a kid, wanted to be an x-ray tech. Where that came from, I have no idea. Life got in the way and I landed in mortgage finance and I was good at it. And you can be really, really, truly good at something and not enjoy it and not be fulfilled. And that was me. So, I ended up owning a mortgage company with my sister and my husband. It was quite a show, quite a ride. But we packed up ship and wanted to raise our family out in rural Iowa. I've been blessed as a female. I've been able to be a corporate mogul. I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom for over a decade. And so upon choosing what to do, re-entering the workforce, that's a daunting task within itself. To be out of the workforce for a decade and have to come back into it. Okay. So I was like, I'm pursuing what I love. I want to live my last half of my life. I want to go out with a bang, do what I love. And that was nursing. So that's how I did that.
So here's the question, and I said it early on. How did you get into cannabis nursing?
Yeah.
Of all things, right? How did that pop into your sphere?
This is I think it's kind of cool, actually. Well, first of all, cannabis has been my girlfriend for a very long time. We've had a relationship for many, many years. So familiar with the plant, cannabis nursing, I'm in nursing school and I'm doing what all nursing school students do. You're, looking at all the different specialties and the options and what do I want to do. And I came across this article that was, top 12 specialties, funky, weird ones. And, one of them was being a cruise ship nurse. One of them was being a nurse at music events, which, hey, I wouldn't do the cruise ship thing, but I'd do the concerts,
Oh, yeah.
But the last gig was cannabis nursing. And there was a link to the American Cannabis Nurses Association. And I was like, and the clouds parted and the sun shone through. It was just like, this is a thing? This is a thing? Sign me up. I'm in, because I know what this plant can do. I knew what it could do before I learned the science. As a human being, I knew.
Right.
Well, that's it. So most of us nurses are also cannabis patients, right?
Yeah.
So what brought you to use cannabis as medicine?
Nightmares. I have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And so I've combated nightmares and insomnia for over 3 decades. And the one thing that allows me to fall asleep and stay asleep is cannabis.
There you go. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about Delta 8 is so great.
Delta 8 is so
Delta 8.
Yeah. That's our
And it rhymes. It rhymes.
It's
Delta
perfect.
8 is great.
It's a great mantra now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So
cannabis has helped you with sleep. It helps you with your complex PTSD. It helps you with chronic.
It helps me with chronic pain. Yeah, chronic pain. I have really bad. I have moderate to severe arthritis, bilateral nerve compression, unilateral weakness. So arthritic pain can be horrible, and cervical neck pain is also extremely horrible.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I've gone from being on 10 pharmaceuticals, I'm down to 2.
There you go.
Thank you,
Oh,
plant medicine.
That's called success.
it is success.
Really truly is.
Yeah.
So, and when I hear patients telling me about their progress and success,
So good.
I
oh,
know.
nothing
Rewarding.
like it. Nothing like it.
It is. It is. Okay. So we went from mortgage to nursing school to cannabis nursing. So
Mhm.
what did your learning process look? Because, you know, you just, last year it was, you know, we started connecting and started working together. And now all of a sudden, this is what you do full time. You're a cannabis nurse. You're a guided, you know, a guided facilitator for specific psychedelics. You do energy healing work. You do Reiki. You do Healy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
like what was the progression for you to get there?
I mean, okay, number one, I think that everybody's paths cross for a reason. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm highly empathic and intuitive. And I feel like, Sherri, you and I were meant to cross paths, sister. So I've learned a lot from you.
Mhm.
Soul
Um,
sister.
Yeah.
sister. You know, really, I think one of the best pieces of advice I heard early on, again from another cannabis nurse, was, you know, start with your specialty and work your way
Mhm.
out.
There
Mhm.
you
And
go.
so, you know, I did, you know, obviously my main specialty was geriatrics, but really the core of where I was at was really psychiatric. Let's be honest, it's not your nursing home environment from 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're basically the jack of all trades. You know what I mean? You're getting your med surge patients in there. You're getting your orthopedic post-op patients, post, you know, CVAs, post MIs, post MVAs, lots of dementia, major depression,
Mhm.
PTSD. So I don't know. I can look at it from the geriatric perspective and learn my way that way, but also really psychiatrics.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't have any real rhyme or reason to what I do. I just kind of go with what I'm feeling, and really just looking for credible, good, solid educational resources. And again, I'm looking to my associations to provide that information, and they do it very well. Both associations do that very, very well. So, reaching out and talking to other nurses, you know, Sherri, you've been there for me. I mean, you know, pointing me in the right direction here and there and everywhere. So mentorship is important. The Green
Yeah.
Nurse provides that, you know, and now
Thank
with Nurse Mark on, you know, it's
the
can of fan.
mentorship. Well, it's just
The
it's about
mentorship is huge.
Mm.
well, it's about, you know, that's the part too, is, you know, we've been working together, all of us, for a while now, and just, you know, they're just like when you're working with patients, you know, I say this all the time. There's so many different ways to take care of a patient. And what we've developed here at the Green Nurse, I think, is just a little bit different because we are focusing on spiritual principles. You know, we've all come to realize that spirituality is the root of cannabis care. And we're doing things a little bit different, the biopsychosocial spiritual process of working with the patient. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're all patients.
That's right.
Yes. Amen.
So we're looking
Yeah.
through the lens of not only as being a clinician, but also being patients ourselves, being on the other side of the bed for whatever medical diagnoses or reason there is. It just brings something a little bit different to the table. And that's the part that I love about working with you guys, is because we've all been on the other side of the bed. We know what it's like.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and then, you know, just taking that approach and marrying, you know, our clinical experience, our own personal experiences, the experiences that we see with our patients, with the science, and then bringing that all together, you know, for a platform.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
It's great to
so
be.
what
It's great to be with people that you're aligned with. Our
Yeah.
goals, our
Yeah.
missions are. So that's
Yes.
a
Yes.
beautiful thing.
So you've also too. So we've done a couple of other shows. We did a show on seasonal affective disorder. We've done positively processing perception for post-traumatic growth. And so you've picked up some other tools along the way too. So what are some of those other tools that you've picked up that you've incorporated?
I mean, positively processing perception was such a game changer for me,
Mhm.
both personally as a patient, as well as psychiatric nursing.
Mm-hmm.
I learned so much, wonderful tools
Yeah.
from Nurse Neek and from Misha and all of us together. Boy, that was just it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
great.
yeah, just really, really wonderful experience. You
Because
know,
it taught us emotional processing. So we talk about nourishing the endocannabinoid system, but then on top of it, we delve right into mental, emotional, spiritual concepts. Mark and I talk about this every single morning. It's about changing your mindset. How can you
It really
process
is.
information from multiple different perspectives instead of that one lens?
Oh gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, like, if you're not right in the mind, it's going to trickle down.
Totally.
You're going to feel it in your physicality and your spirit. And so, you know, it's really about teaching people how to find that balance, find it and maintain it. Right. So, so yeah, the P3 was huge. The Healy and learning about energy work. Wow. I mean, again, I was coming at all of this stuff from a patient's perspective and trying to heal myself. And I feel like if you can learn how to heal yourself, you can certainly teach and empower others how to do the same. And so that's really where I'm coming from. So the Healy is just massive. I run that thing all the time.
Mine's running right now.
I'm a Reiki student. I'm currently at a level 1 practitioner. So I'm not ready to roll that out quite yet to clients, but I am working on that internally, personally. I've gotten into conscious breath work. Thank you, Nurse Mark. What an experience.
Oh, Jacques,
wow.
So good. So good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we do that again?
We can. We will. Yes. Jacques is coming back. Jacques Theron.
Jacques Theron.
Oh my God, that was a great experience.
Brazil. So good.
I'm telling you, to have a psychedelic experience while you're breathing is just phenomenal.
Literally a psychedelic experience, like a transformative shift just from changing how you're breathing at that particular moment.
It's amazing. And it is. And it's also just been so beneficial for my healing, for that, you know, helping to reset my nervous system, which has just been a complete shitstorm for 3 decades or more. So yeah, it's beautiful. All the tools. And speaking of psychedelics, dipping my toe into the psychedelic nursing pool. So excited about that too.
Yes.
I feel like that and cannabis nursing
together. Yeah,
absolutely. It's all that new world. It really isn't a different paradigm of healthcare. It's a new world of healthcare.
It is prevention, preventative.
Yes.
Absolutely. If we can grow new dendrites,
right? Listen, it is a fundamental shift in how we're going to be treating people in the mental health space. Literally is. You know, my story, my whole life with, you know, recurrent depression that was not treated with pharmaceutical medication, just was not. So for me, I intimately know that with these new tools, you give a patient, you give a person a moment outside of that world that they live in of being down. You know, it's like the door opens and the sun shines for a minute.
It is, Mark. It is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so exciting to be in there, isn't it? Yeah.
It makes it almost, dare I say, it almost makes it worth every heinous thing you go through in your own life. It's like, I know it's cliches. It sounds you're being prepared for something bigger, and this is it.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's the part that this stuff, you know, really needs to be. All of it needs to be legalized. Seriously, you just think about all the pharmaceuticals that I was on, you were on, right? Taking prescribed pharmaceuticals, and then now what? We're turning to plants and fungus and other types of modalities to get us off of that. Wow. Right.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like we need more and more and more. See, that's the part that's just amazing. You know, you have that shift, you know, that complete shift of perception, the whole way your brain starts to operate and communicate with each other. And it's fascinating.
I
Mhm.
mean, I just signed up for a it's the first course of its kind that I've seen. It's totally dedicated to nursing. It's called Nursing and Sacred Medicine course.
Ooh.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so excited. It's a 3-week course, a 3-week
Oh, that's great.
the first cohort filled up within 24 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like,
That's
Yep.
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm
So
like
Iowa.
bursting.
I know. I'm so happy that you're
Iowa.
bursting. Iowa. Let's talk about Iowa. What's going on in Iowa?
Yeah,
Well,
really,
well,
what
well.
is going on in Iowa?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say there's any real decriminalizing going on. They are trying to lower and lessen like charges and such,
Mhm.
which is good. I mean, any progress is good, right? It's just not
Right.
quick enough for me and hard enough
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
And it's really just coming from a nurse's perspective at that point. I'm just getting really ticked off because I'm seeing people suffer, and it's just,
Hmm.
ugh.
And it's
Um,
needless. It's needless.
it's
It's
needless.
needless.
It's
Yeah.
needless, and you know,
So what is the laws?
you,
What are the laws in Iowa now?
well,
Just
the
so
big
people.
thing with first of all, let's get this out of the way. It's not even considered a full-fledged cannabis program. It's called a
Hmm.
cannabidiol program.
Hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
yes. The thing that's difficult for Iowa is that we don't have flour, we don't have concentrates. Um, we need that. We need
Yeah.
to be able to grow our own, just like everybody else wants to, right?
Right.
Right.
Um, there is a 4.5 gram over 90 days cap. 4.5 grams of THC. It's a max THC purchase cap. I'm like,
So
well, I
that's
can
4 joints. That's 4 joints. Four
over
joints in
90
90 days.
days. So when I was watching the podcast In the Weeds earlier, and they're balking about Florida's 10% THC cap, I'm thinking 10%. I'm at 4.5 grams
Yeah.
over.
Now here's the
I can
thing.
tell you what the problems are. The
Yeah,
problems
you
are people
that's
are
like
not going to get their cards. They're not going to
no.
renew their cards. They can't afford the medication.
Right.
It's
It's
what
set
are we
up for
doing?
failure. It's set up
It
for
is
failure.
set up for failure.
So here's the thing. That would be like your doctor prescribing you one benzodiazepine. You get one Xanax for 30 days. Use it
Can
wisely. Use it
Mark, can I tell
wisly
you
now.
something?
What?
My nurse practitioner
Yeah.
prescribes me 5 lorazepams to cover me on a 30-day. I don't
Okay.
use them. I
Yeah.
just It's
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those things like I have to have one foot in the system for just that just in case
Yeah,
scenario, right? But
I
Course.
get it.
5 lorazepams over 30 days. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
if I
that's great.
really truly needed it, what the hell's that going to do? You know what?
No.
That's one day's worth.
Yeah, right. That's one
I
bad
mean,
day.
let's just be honest here,
Yeah.
like it's whatever. So,
Yeah. But
Oh
you're right. You know
lots of
man.
what?
work still needs to be
Little
done
is
here,
slow.
but you know,
Yeah.
so
You know, you're right. Any change towards the goal is good. Like it's
yeah,
going
yeah.
to take people. Think about it. It was 100 years of negative marketing. It was based not on science, but completely on politics and race. It takes a long time to undo that, right? If you walk in the woods for 30 years, you can't turn around and expect to be out in a day. It's going to take. We have
It
time
is
to
going to take
change
time.
people's minds and get
Yeah.
them, to the point where they understand that it's evidence-based medicine. And that's what we're doing, right? We're
Yeah.
all advocates because we know it's evidence-based. All of the research is done. More research is being done every day. And we're just advocating and educating, saying, listen, folks, yeah, what you heard for your whole life is, I'm sorry, but it's
Yeah.
completely
I will I will throw out a couple positives that are happening too. They did just award a second manufacturer their licensing. So now we'll have 2 manufacturers, which is really a huge thing. It takes us from a kind of monopolized feel,
Mhm.
right, to have some choices.
Yep.
And then they've also awarded 2 more dispensary licenses, which will bump us up to 5 dispensaries in the state, which I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is really truly huge for our program. So I love that. Another thing, I am very, very proud, I will say. I shouldn't just come in here like a negative Nancy, but
Oh,
that's the mama bear in me, you know. The last meeting that I attended virtually, and it was the shortest meeting on the planet Earth of the medical cannabidiol board. It was like less than 30 minutes. They were very, very happy. But I was really excited to see that Iowa Department of Public Health is now incorporating in some of other medical programs parameters as a guidance tool for practitioners in Iowa. And they're looking at Utah's program, which I think that's great. That's great. At least they're bringing in some more expertise.
Yeah.
From
Wasn't
other
Utah
more
the state
established.
where it passed on referendum and then the legislature said, oh, no, we can't have this.
Isn't that, was that South Dakota?
No, I don't think South Dakota ever got to it. I think it was Utah. I think it was Utah where they passed the referendum. The people said, yes, we want cannabis. And then the legislature said, well, hold up. We think you're making a mistake. So we're not.
Oh my gosh. But that is happening in South Dakota right now, though.
That legal voting process. Yeah. Come on now. I know it's America, but
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
It literally.
Well, we don't even get to, Iowa's not set up in that way. And I'm not politically savvy at all, but we don't, they do their whatever. And I don't like it. Sorry.
So what kind of products does Iowa have at their dispensaries?
We do have carts. That is our one
Cartridges?
inhalable cartridges. So they have 3 different types of products. They have a CBD, predominantly CBD, a 1-to-1 harmony, and then they have their THC dominant products. So we have the carts, we have topicals, and we have capsules. Oh, and tinctures. The tinctures, 14 milliliter bottle tinctures.
14 mLs. So just for people that. So 14 mLs, just so you know, is 3 teaspoons. That's it. That's 3 teaspoons of oil. Oh my God.
It's not the manufacturer. I'd like to be clear on that. It's not the manufacturer. That's coming from guidance from the program itself.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not,
nonetheless,
it's not based in true medicine. Like there are certainly guidelines established in many, many other states about dosing. Like we know, generally what's going to work with people.
Right.
And it's not that low end. It may for some people. The majority of people have to, but if you're practicing medicine, you need to have the full breadth of the tools available to you. Right?
Yes.
Whole toolbox.
You're coaching and you're recommending and,
Yes. And there isn't, I don't know of a lot of nurses on the ground here. I know that there are a few and I know them. But there are no nurses in the dispensaries. Every time I speak and work with a client, that's the first thing I'm asking because, I have a 30-day follow-up with them. I follow up with them as a nurse, just like, hey, what's going on? How are you doing? How can I help you? And I asked them, were you given any education on the endocannabinoid system when you were at the dispensary? No.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Well, that's where I come in.
That's
where you
right.
fit. Well, that was go ahead.
Yeah.
Mark.
So what do you think? I'm sorry, Sherri. Do you want to jump in?
Well, I just wanted to know, like, what you thought. Like, since you said there weren't that many nurses, I was wondering if you knew or noticed a shift in the medical community. Are they being more accepting of cannabis as medicine? Have you been able to reach out? What has been your experience with working with other clinicians that are new?
There's a lot of professionals that are certainly open to it. It's really comes down to the fear, the stigma, the fear of the legalities and the stigma. And so one of the biggest things I hear from patients when they're coming to me is my provider will not certify me because their corporate entity will not allow it because of the federal schedule.
Right.
But they can still do it though. That's the thing is that they
can do it. They could do it, but if their employer is saying you can't do it and it's a matter of I'm going to lose my job, what are you going to, you know what I mean? Like,
but individual practices. So like if there was a a nurse
Oh, yeah.
practitioner, and they could do it
MDs,
easily.
Oh yeah, MDs, DOs, nurse practitioners, podiatrists, and physician's assistants are all allowed to certify. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, here in Iowa, nurse practitioners, we have way more nurse practitioners on the ground than we do MDs and DOs.
Is
So
Iowa's a full scope of practice for nurse practitioners?
yes, it
Love
is.
Here we
Yes.
go.
I
Oh,
do
Iowa,
believe,
you're
I
doing
do
some
believe,
things very right. Yes.
I do, yeah, and I do believe, I could be wrong about this because again, I'm not a nurse practitioner, but
Yeah.
I do believe they have to have like 1 to 2 years of supervised,
Yeah.
and then they can go on their own and
Yeah.
have their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
practices,
That's a
and they do.
That's a
Right.
common thing. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah.
states will do that.
So
They'll say you got to have 2 years experience. Mhm.
So basically, just so I want to make sure I get this right. So if I was a nurse practitioner in Iowa and a patient came to me, I could take care of them, log into the Iowa system, and certify them. Is that right? Do
absolutely.
they have to take any special classes? Do they have to
There
pay any
are
fees?
no required classes, but
Mhm.
the state of Iowa does have actually the answer page. There is a course that they're offering through the answer page,
Good.
which is nice,
Mhm.
specifically for Iowa. And then
Yeah.
the Medical Cannabis Institute, which I think we've all been through that program
Mhm.
through ACNA. But
Yep.
call Nurse Carey Lee because I can hook you up with some really stellar CBD and cannabis coaching education resources.
Absolutely.
And call me. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. We want so
seriously,
nurse
don't be
practitioners.
afraid.
If you are a nurse practitioner in Iowa and even Massachusetts, we can help you get your business off the ground. We can teach you how to do this and how to incorporate cannabis education into what you're currently doing. Carrie Lee is awesome. Patients love her.
Amazing.
You
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are so nice.
I think some people in Iowa actually have your tattoo. They got a tattoo of you on their arm
Oh,
because
would you stop?
they're like, "Carrie Lee really saved my life. I'm going down to the tattoo parlor
I
and get
doubt
that
it.
zippity zip."
You're
Yeah.
so funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's happening now. Yep. Yep.
So
Oh my
question a
God.
little bit more about Iowa.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, how could Iowa improve the experiences of patients and consumers?
Legalize it, decriminalize it,
It's
all of
easy,
it,
simple as that.
all of
Yeah.
it. And don't and allow and allow these healthcare practitioners, give them the autonomy to practice
Mhm.
and let people know. I mean, you cannot advertise that you even provide those services.
I didn't
You
know that.
know, let the
Oh,
people
wow.
know. Let the people know. That's another thing. Patients don't know where to go. You
Mm.
can call Iowa Department of Public Health though as well. They'll help you with that. But
Call
Call
Nurse Carey Lee.
Nurse
call
Carey.
Nurse Carey Lee.
Absolutely.
She has all the knowledge.
Well, it's so funny that you just said that, Carrie Lee, when you said, the answer is just decriminalize it, and I agree with you because I sit here and I was in a Mass Can Normal meeting today and we were talking about patients and education and what patients in Massachusetts need. And I was sitting there scratching my head going, what the fuck? Like, seriously, I can't believe we're sitting here having to have this conversation over a plant. Like it just gets annoying. I get annoyed. I'm like,
Yeah.
now I'm pissed. And that's
I
what makes me
get
so.
sideways about the whole alcohol's legal and cannabis is not.
Oh,
Like that fucks me up every time because alcohol is a poison. It's just because we all agree that it's legal.
yeah.
That's not based in science.
No,
I mean,
it's
how
not.
many people die of alcohol related disease in the country? 80, 100,000 a year?
Show me, prove it to me. Show me where cannabis. Show me where
Doesn't.
cannabis is listed as a primary cause of death. You can't
Is
show
not.
me anywhere in the world. Nowhere.
Yes.
Show me.
Nowhere.
Yes. That's right, Joe. Legalize, not decriminalize. Legalize.
Legalize. I agree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Woohoo!
I know.
Absolutely.
I
Telling you
know.
right now, the fist fights in the bar rooms would decrease in half if they were serving cannabis.
Oh my
instead of
gosh.
alcohol.
My God,
Actually,
we'd be having.
they go together. They go away altogether.
They would.
Oh,
They would
Yeah,
totally go away. Yeah.
totally. And you wouldn't kill your liver in the process.
that's
Beautiful thing.
right. And you'd be much more healthy because of all of the healthy things that cannabinoids do in the human body.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
We're all in this together. We know it.
We
We know it.
are in this together. So quick
So-
Yes, we
question.
are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. You go.
Yeah. Carrie Lee, what do you feel is the most important thing for people to know about when, they're exploring cannabis as an option?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Are you kidding me? I mean,
Yeah.
are we talking completely cannabis naive or a little? I mean, it's just
Right. Yeah.
seek out a
Newbie.
cannabis nurse.
There you
Seek
go.
out a cannabis nurse. Number one.
Yeah, we're the
We're
most
not. We're the
trusted
most
profession.
honest, most trusted profession.
That's right.
And that
For a
and like you
reason.
get. Yep. And like you
Yeah.
guys say, whether it's for adult use or for its medical use, let us help you
Right.
set up that experience
Right.
or to be a success.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what we want to do as nurses. We want to set people up for success and trying
Yes.
something new and different that we know that is healthy. Even using it recreationally, you can have a safe adult use experience. And that's bottom line is it's going to keep you away from stuff that's not so safe for sure.
Mhm.
Once you learn how to
Yes.
use this in an appropriate way.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So what do you think has been the biggest misconception people have about your involvement being a cannabis nurse? So what do you think, what do you think people's misconceptions are?
I mean, I don't know.
More like you don't care.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. Like, when I decided to come out, I mean, I had to make peace with that. And it was just kind of
Yeah, I
like, this
know.
is who I am. I'm owning this. This is who I am. This is a part of my lifestyle. This is what I stand for. And if you don't like it, don't let the door hit you on the ass. Because I'm done being a chameleon and making myself, acceptable for all the powers that be. You cannot and you will never make everybody happy in this world. So if you have a misconception about me, I'm sorry, boo, but that's your problem, not mine.
Exactly.
If you want to have a conversation, if you want to have a real, true conversation, call me, ask me any questions. I love talking about this. I love educating about this. There's nothing to be afraid
Right.
of.
Yes.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Nothing to be afraid of. So you developed Soul Thrive, and I really want to talk about because when you came and stayed with me last year when we were doing some cannabis nursing bonding together, you introduced me to your daily 5 to Thrive, and all the daily 5 to Thrive all has to do with tools that support and nourish the endocannabinoid system. So will you tell our viewers what that is?
Yes, 5 to Thrive. It's my template. It's my self-care template. And I really just, it was birthed out of my own need to heal. And actually I came up with it before I was a nurse and before I was a cannabis nurse. So
There you go.
here's the 5. Sleep. Number 1. I feel like David Letterman. I'm going to do the top 10. Here we go. Ready?
Ding. Number 10.
Number 10. No. Number 1 is sleep. Sleep hygiene. As we all know, sleep regulates our mood, our appetites, cognition level. I mean, it's the end all and the be all,
It helps us to adapt to stress. It helps us to not be as reactive. It decreases pain.
Boom.
Right.
2, food is thy medicine. Food is fuel. It's nutrition, plant-based, primarily plant-based. I've tried out a lot of different types of diets. I don't like to stick myself to one thing or another. I just know that I like primarily plant-based. Water, herbal teas, fluids are important. Hydration is important. Dehydration can lead to, a lot of emotional dysregulation as well as physical. So 3 is move your ass every single day. I mean, exercise. What do you say, Sherri?
Motion is the lotion. Let's
boom. And I think, you gotta love what you're doing when you're moving your body, though. Otherwise, the endocannabinoid system's thinking that you're stressed out. You're acutely stressed. And it's going to do the exact opposite of what you wanted to do. So first and foremost, don't force yourself to do something that you don't enjoy. Find, explore. Do you like to dance? Do you like yoga? Do you like Tai Chi?
Yes.
HIIT, lit. I mean, all kinds of things,
That's a good point, though, Carrie Lee, is to not make exercise stressful because it's counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. You
Right.
need to
Right, because
find something that you enjoy.
because the ECS is looking to see, are you in a stress state? Because it wants to smooth you out like
Right.
butter, you know.
Yes.
Number 4 is sunshine. Woo!
Mm.
Sunshine, baby. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd like you to get it from nature, from Mother Nature, okay? But if you got to fake and bake, if you've got to get it from vitamin D, whatever. I'm a fake and baker. It's benefits versus risks, man.
Totally.
Can I tell you, you turned
Yeah.
me on to Carrie Lee. You turned me on to my light box. I'm telling you right now, the light box makes a huge difference. I got to tell
Yes.
you though, one of the things with the light box, you're right. You have to turn it off. If you have it on too long, you are like the middle of the night. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be sleeping. Carrie Lee's daily 5 to thrive. Jeez, I got too much sun today for my light box, and now I'm wide awake.
It's so addicting though. Like you guys on the East Coast are getting it just as bad as we are here in the Midwest. The winter blues and the depression with that seasonal component.
Yeah.
And I know it because you know what? I've lived in Florida. I've lived in Clearwater before, and I did not have issues.
Nope.
Okay. And there's a
Nope.
reason for that because it's the Sunshine State.
Sunshine, baby. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge
It does. And so number 5 is pretty much, I'm going to switch it up and call it spiritual,
Mhm.
because it's really like, for me, it's about gratitude journaling. It's about positive affirmations, mindfulness, meditation, oracle cards, energy work. It's about what connects me to spirit and what connects me to my higher self and my inner voice. And you know what? I don't know, maybe that should be number 1.
That's all good. All 5. That's like the high 5. They're
all 5,
equal,
baby.
right?
5 to thrive.
That's so great, Carrie
Yeah.
Lee.
I'm
All
wound
right.
up.
It's good. It's good that you're wound up. It's awesome. So, quick question too. We're going to talk about products and then the future. So, so products wise, what are you looking forward to seeing show up in the cannabis marketplace in Iowa? Like, what are you looking for?
Are you
Flower.
kidding me right now? I would like
I'm-
flour. I would
Oh,
like
no.
flour. I would like to
Yeah.
know exactly what I'm getting. I would like
Mhm.
to see COAs, which we don't get COAs.
Yeah. That
No
blows,
certificate of analysis.
Yeah.
The
blows me
state of
away.
Iowa does require all of the product to be tested, and they handle it, but they don't allow the dispensaries to release the lab reports. That was one of the first things I asked for.
Interesting.
So, unfortunately, the patients of Iowa are the ones that are suffering because, as we all know, not every single cultivar is going to, manage every single ailment, and that's the beauty of the plant. So
much.
that's really what I'm most excited for, is to see flower come here and variety.
Variety with a capital V.
Variety. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So Carrie Lee, for future, what do you see? What do you envision the future of the cannabis industry, medical cannabis industry? What is your dream? What is your wish list?
My dream is for it to be top quality, it to be affordable, it to be covered by insurance. I would like to see something for everyone. There's plenty to go around. If a patient wants to grow, let them grow. If a patient wants to walk into a dispensary and rely solely on dispensary for their products, let them go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, give us the choices. We want choices.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So
Totally
You need the
agree.
choices. You have to have the tools.
you
Have to
do.
have the tools.
Yeah.
You do.
So Carrie Lee, how is cannabis, daily 5 to thrive, and all that you're doing helping you to live your best life?
Because we know that's what it's all about.
It really, really is. I mean, what do you mean? How's it helping me? It's helping me. Thank you, plant medicine. I mean, and you guys, and being a part of the Green Nurse, and being a
Oh,
part of the cannabis community. I mean,
you're
my
blessed.
heart is. I'm like the Grinch with the tiny heart going. Boop, boop.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's totally. It's
Oh, yeah.
been a ride. It's been a
It
ride,
has.
and
Yeah.
And what I love too, Carrie Lee, is one of your quotes that you put. It just touched my heart. I am grateful that I get to help teach humans how to heal one heart, one soul at a time.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry.
So good.
I want to. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. Here, I'm grateful.
Oh my God,
This
I'm
is
not gonna
Carrie
cry.
Lee.
Should I read it?
Yeah, you read it. No, I'm gonna
You
read it.
better
But
read
I gotta get through this without crying because I'm
All right,
okay.
all right, all right.
All right, here we go.
No, crying's good. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not feeling very weepy right at the moment.
It's all good.
But I
So here it
do.
is.
I mean, I do cry. I just want to let everybody know.
I know, but this is what I love. This
Yeah.
is one of your quotes.
So good.
I am grateful that I get to help teach humans how to heal one heart, one soul at a time. I want to show humans that cannabis is one tool of many that can be used to change their lives for the better.
Yes. Oh,
Is that really it?
Yeah,
so
that's
good. So good.
so good.
You are a blessing to the green nurse.
You are.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I
You
do
are.
want to thank you. Like, I'm just gonna get it. I'm gonna get a little personal here. It's just thank you
Yeah.
for being there for me, for being my rock, for helping me with social media, for helping me with patients, for helping me to develop these programs, to put stuff together, to, literally we're creating something new and different that's never been done before. Right?
Yeah.
It's never been
Yeah.
done before. And how exciting is that we all get to do it together?
I love it. We're
Absolutely.
so lucky. We're so blessed. This is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yes. So
I
here's the
know.
thing. I know how to get a hold of you. I know to go to thegreennurse.com and find you, but how can people in Iowa or anywhere in the world, because listen, folks, it's
We're
across the
global.
world here. We're able to help. How do we find you, Nurse Carey Lee?
Well, you can find me on the Green Nurse website, but you can also find me on my new website, www.soulthrive.co. It is still under construction. I will say that, but I'm working on it. And yes, reach out to me and reach out and touch someone. Woo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Carrie Lee's got some social media pages. So Carrie Lee's also runs, she helps with the Green Nurse page. We have the Green Nurse community. She has her Soul Thrive page. She's on Instagram. We got some great stuff. The virtual RN, Soul Thrive, Nurse Carey Lee. You're putting together just beautiful media content for education. Really, really top notch.
High quality.
Yeah. High
Thank you
quality.
guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the tools to create those things.
Oh,
Very,
my
very
God.
grateful that
Oh.
you
Yes.
entrusted me with that. So thank you.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And so we are looking forward to continuing to grow with you. We are all growing in health. This has been an awesome episode. I don't know, Mark, you want to close it out? Carrie Lee?
Yeah.
Any little
Hey,
final
Yes.
words? Let's
Carrie
close it
Lee,
up.
thanks for being a guest on the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse podcast. Sherri, of course, always, it's such a pleasure to be your partner in this journey. And, I ask it every morning, but I'm going to ask you now, Sherri, what's it all about?
Oh, goodness gracious. I never thought you'd ask that question. But anyways, I'll tell you. You guys all know what it's all about. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. So good to see you all. And, we'll see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, for the daily dose of AFA. All right.
AFA, baby.
Thanks for
Good
joining us.
night.